everybody. I am Jen Kober. Welcome to my podcast, Bitchin Over Biscuits, where we tackle a different genre of podcast every week with our surprise celebrity guest and dive deep into that topic. This week, we are joined by the very funny and very gay Mr. Ryan Rogers of New Orleans, a very favorite of mine. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Jen. Thank you so much for having me. Can I call you Diva? How are you doing?
Yes, you I prefer mother. That's what I usually get from gay boys. They mother me.
Gay boys will mother, and you are a mother, if I've ever met one. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
You're so welcome. We're so excited that you're here with us. Ryan just opened for me at my shows in Lake Charles at the Horseshoe and was a huge hit, much to everyone's excitement. So
you are very sweet. I had such a blast at that show, Jen. Thank you for having me. Such a blast.
Of course. As always, we are joined by my producer, grounding force, fact checker, and sometimes referee, Mr. Mike Brignac.
Good morning, guys. This is exciting. I'm so thrilled that Ryan's here.
Yes, Ryan was, Ryan is very outrageously gay. Like, one of my favorite ways to be gay is to be very gay. There are some people that kind of try to like slip it in, no pun intended, and
been there for sure.
Kind of dance around it. But Ryan is very, what I would call, unapologetically gay, which I love about him the most. And you're so yourself on stage, Ryan, and you just won that audience over. That was a room full of rednecks, full of hicks, full of Lake Charles, conservative, Trump-loving folk. And you just won them over with your sweet little heart, with your likability. Like, even though you're being sort of catty about things, there's like a little sunshine that comes from you.
Oh, definitely.
That means the world, guys. I had so much fun then. I am pretty fearless when it comes to that kind of stuff. I came out very young. I have a very supportive family. Both my parents are still together. They come to my shows. Me and my dad are very, very close. Me and my mom are very close. I have two siblings I love very much. And I'm married to the best husband in the world. So when you have that kind of support, when you grow up with that kind of support, it makes it very easy as a queer person. And I know a lot of us we're not that lucky as a community. We just aren't. And so for those who aren't able to be as visible, that's what I'm doing it for. I've always been this way.
You're really like a gay unicorn. Like, that never happened.
It never happens, but I always want to be that person. And I've been like this since I was able to communicate through writing and social media, when at the advent of it in the early 2000s. Like, I wanted to be that person where other queer kids my age couldn't. I wanted to be the one who could be like, it's okay. There's more of us. Look at me. Like, I'm being as loud and I'm amplifying my voice as much as possible because it's possible. You can do it.
Well, we love that about you, and we're so excited that you're here on Bitchin' Over Biscuits with us. As you know, Ryan, the star of this podcast is biscuits. We are always eating the biscuits. This morning, Brooke, my lovely wife, has made what she calls look at this plate.
Oh my God,
okay.
John.
Let's start off that this is, she makes her cat head biscuits, the biscuits that are the size of a cat's head. Mm-hmm. These, though, she told me to tell y'all, are not cat head biscuits. These are butter swim. She just puts the biscuit dough in butter and so the bottom of it is all crispy, crunchy.
What the hell? Oh my God, that's a marvel.
A little
that's
strawberry
beautiful.
jam, a little butter, and then this, y'all, candied bacon. Mm-hmm. Who is loved? Who is loved in this world?
You are. That is gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
Ryan, what you got in the way of a biscuit?
Well, I feel bad having to follow that. Again, you asked me just a couple hours ago, you and Mike, to join you guys. So I was in a pinch. So I got Popeyes. That's all we got. I had to Uber eat Popeyes. It is storming here in New Orleans, and I had to overtip some poor soul to deliver this here. So we got it in a pinch, but I have a very classic Popeyes dry as hell biscuit, I'm sure.
But They're so good. You know what you do? You wrap it in a damp paper towel and put it in the microwave for 8 seconds, and it comes right back to life.
You have all the
I've
biscuit
done that
hacks.
research.
Yeah.
Done.
I've done that research. Because
Oh my
those
God.
Popeyes biscuits are so good. They're so drenched, and they're that's a butter swim too, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had this wrapped and on the counter, and it is seeping. Every time I pick it up, it's sticking through the paper. So that tells you everything you need to know.
So it's nutritious as well as delicious. Mike, what kind of biscuit are you working with this morning?
I'm going old school. Mary B's frozen biscuits. They're so good.
Right
And
on.
look at that.
Oh.
It's slathered with strawberry jam. Strawberry
Yeah,
preserves.
that's what I got this morning too. A little strawberry jam, a little whipped butter. The whipped butter that goes
Whipped.
with whipped. It's a whipped.
It's what?
So this morning, y'all, we are recording this on Sunday, even though we don't release it till Tuesday. And this morning, I woke up to the news that Biden has pulled out of the race. And here's what's crazy. We had already scheduled for this episode to be about government.
No
So
way.
Yep.
This is so perfect. It's all just lining up for us. It really is. You know, here
He
on
did this for us. That's what he did this for, Jen.
Yes,
Content.
we pick a different genre every week, and this week's genre just happened to be government. And so when I woke up and this is what had happened, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good one.
I don't know if we have enough biscuits, to be honest.
For all the bitching that we're about to get to do, I'll say this to start us off. I have been bitching about the fact that regardless of what my political ties may be, where my affiliations may go, the fact that I tend to lean left and blue, but I did not want to vote for either one of these old men. I just didn't. I wanted somebody in the race who had a chance of being alive in 5 or 10 years, so they'd have to deal with the consequences of their actions. And it seemed like that wasn't going to happen. It seemed like we were going to have the Pawpaw Snooze Fest.
Right.
And look, I was going to do what I needed to do to vote for democracy, but I was not happy about it. And I thought, if I am this disenfranchised, what is middle America doing? So
exactly.
I was very worried about how this was going to go down. And last night, I was doing shows at the Comedy and Magic Club. And it's their birthday month. So they put up 20 comedians a night doing 5 minutes each.
Oh,
so
no.
the green room is like a who's who of comedy from fucking 1984 to now. Like it is old guys, it is new guys, it is people that have done it. It's Bobby Collins is in that room, but so is Byron Bowers. Like it is just night and day.
So are you going to tell us that Joe Biden did a set? Is that what's supposed to happen? Like everyone was there.
That would have been amazing. I would pay to see that. But what I'm saying is that when the green room discussion turned to politics, just to make all these old geezers laugh, and then they're right there, they're doing their harumph, and I said, I got a prediction. I think we're going to get the Shonda Rhimes ending that we've always wanted. And what's going to happen is that Biden is going to drop out, Kamala is in, and a black woman gets to defeat Donald Trump. The reason we haven't heard from her for 4 years is because they've had her in a cave just teaching her how to come back. And all of his ridiculous statements. She's been like doing Rocky workouts. And like she's just been training in a cave somewhere just to beat this. Biden was never going to run, but he was letting them get through their convention so they could bash him at the convention and not tear her up, right? So that she goes into the whole thing clean and ready to fucking fight. And now here we go. We gotta fight, yo.
We do. We do. Jen, I agree with everything you're saying. And I could bitch about politics and government all day. I am married to a politician. That's what my husband does. I've been with him for 7. He's an elected official. My husband is actually the executive director of the state Democratic Party here in Louisiana. So he's like this.
Oh,
He's the
see? We
CEO.
didn't even know that. This is a
But
very
this is
Kismet
perfect.
episode.
it's a Kismet episode. He actually worked on Kamala's campaign when we lived in California. So we have a
Oh,
photo of us and Kamala on of me and
I
Kamala between us.
would die.
It's on my Instagram. It's amazing. But I want to I like what I'm trying to say is I could bitch for hours. I'm very thrilled today for the same
So
reasons
good.
you are.
So you have to tell us what you tweeted, what you put on Facebook. I don't know if you tweeted it, but your comment about it made me laugh. Go ahead and tell us what you wrote.
Which one? I've been Facebooking all day. The one about Taylor Swift?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I said that just make Taylor Swift the nominee right now and just lock this race up. We'll be done. We'll have less anxiety. I mean, I'm kind of kidding, but for months, I'm like, I feel like there's one American who can beat Donald Trump, hands down, no questions asked. It's over. No campaign, nothing, and it's Taylor Swift. And I'm not kidding. I'm kind of kidding, but I'm like, who else? I'm serious.
Well,
if we're playing celebrity.
That's it. It's that, and we were talking about this last night in the green room. The problem is he's a celebrity. You don't realize how the status conferral, the power in our American brains that we have given celebrity, and because it boggles my mind, and it makes me think a lot more of Hitler. I'll say that guy didn't have social media or TV to really be getting that popular, and he did the same shit without social media or an apprentice show.
Right.
So, you know, if we're gonna give props ever to Hitler, there it is. But I'm saying that
you heard it here first.
not a lot of Jewish comedians doing that these days. But I will say this: Donald Trump is who he is because of that, because we have given so much weight and so much status to celebrity. So
Correct.
The only thing to kind of take him down would have to be another celebrity. And I think you're right. I think Taylor Swift could do it. The only problem may be that a lot of her fans are not of voting age.
I think you can still pull all Republican voting women for the most part. I think you can, I'm serious. Like the one person that could start it.
Over 35 who's ever been broken up with would vote for Taylor Swift.
And everyone who's not registered under the age of like 22, you're done. They're registered in a day. It's over. Yeah. Like I don't know. And I do agree with the celebrity thing, to be completely honest, like for every reason that you mentioned. And it's just one of those things where it's like, he is not playing by these rules. He never has. He's never played politics. So like, why are we always taking the high road? Why are we always trying to outthink? He's not going to. Throw something at him that he just can't beat. That isn't a political game. That it's like, he cares about his star power and his celebrity more than anything. Take it away from him. Put a bigger celebrity against them.
I love that answer.
Because
Mike, don't you feel? I feel like we're gonna have to beat him in such huge numbers, like mop the floor with him, because otherwise he's gonna contest the shit out of it forever with the Supreme Court that he handpicked.
Yes,
I think the only way this is an uncontested, like we were talking about before we started the show, this episode, it has to be almost a mandate landslide turnout for looks like it's going to be Harris or whoever that's going to be, for there not to be all this stuff that we hear about stolen elections and all of this. But I am just exhausted with the whole thing. I just want an America, a United States of America, where we actually can have civil discourse and allow each other to be who we choose to be, and not be legislated. Who we want to be has to be controlled by lawmakers. I'm just sick of the whole thing. I'm sick of all of this. I want it all to be over.
We're all sick of it, dude. I agree.
But, well, I think that the thing to bitch about for me is that, look, I want to one day make enough money to be a Republican. That is absolutely true. I want to be a Republican. You have no idea. I pray every night, dear Jesus, make me a Republican. I got a lot of bills. And I really could use this. You know, but and I believe that all politicians are going to fuck us. I believe all politicians are going to fuck us. I just want to get fucked by the black lady. Is that so terrible? Is that so wrong?
I think we have that in common too. Weirdly enough, for as gay as I am,
I just think there's
Go ahead.
something about her that has a lot of gravitas. And we're speaking of Kamala Harris. There's something about her being a prosecutor and he's a felon, right? I love that matchup.
There's poetry. It's poetry.
So yeah, there's a lot because I mean, look, I am not one of those people that celebrated that he got shot. I did not. No, I would never do such a thing. I do not find that necessarily funny in any way. I do think it's ridiculous. He's wearing like a pillow on his ear, or a maxi pad.
It's a maxi pad.
But I would never say like, oh, that's not me at all. I think that the way he got shot and then Biden got COVID, come on, man. Like this race needs to be about issues and not this pawpaw circus it was turning into. Like
it's such bullshit. But the good news is, with what happened today, I have been re-energized as a voter and as a citizen. And Jen, Mike, when I tell you I was having an existential meltdown earlier this week with my husband, whose job is to get the word out and get out the vote for Democrats. Back the Democrats, follow the party. And I was like, I'm leaving the party. I'm registering independent. Wow. And I'm starting over because I don't feel like as an American citizen, as a voter, that I have to be put in this position right now. I feel like it's become quite a circus. So I feel better. And I feel like there's new energy and direction with what just happened. I'm thrilled.
Absolutely.
I couldn't be happier.
You are 1,000% right. I think it is going to invigorate a lot of money into the party. I kept getting those text messages and I'm like, no, I'm not giving Papa any of my money. It's not happening. He don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean?
What are you, my college? I'm not giving the money.
The pushback I kept getting on that was, well, why aren't you going after Trump? Why aren't they asking him to step down? He's a felon. He's old. He's this. He's that. Yes, but they don't seem to care. And I can't do anything about what they're going to put up. That's not who that's them. That's on them. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. I'm talking about what we're doing. And we have always been a party of ideas, a party of action, a party of community. There really is a grassroots feel to it, to me. And because of that, this feels very invigorating. It feels very empowering. And I will say this, the countries that vote leaders in, I don't think a lot of them only have two parties. In England, there's like 5 parties. This idea that there is no viable third party. It's almost like it's not a choice, right? How many times have you heard people say, like, I'm just voting for the lesser of two evils. I'm not voting for anyone. I'm voting against the other person.
Exactly.
And that's the problem in a system of just two parties. There isn't that third party to keep everything. Right. If it's a third middle ground part, now it's, oh, well, you're pulling away from this. You're pulling away from this. Nobody can be viable as a third party candidate. And that sucks.
I agree.
Yep. I agree too. You're right. As a former reporter, I'm picturing myself as a reporter again, and hearing this news today, I would be on fire right now for the next several months covering this, because this is going to be, it's finally got interesting. It was sad and boring, this election cycle, but now it's actually, like you're talking about, it's got some life to it, some unexpectedness, and we don't know how it's going to end now. I was certain how it was going to end a week ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew
Sean Grimes always gives us a good ending. I'm telling y'all, this is it. This is I don't, who knows the October surprise? Fuck me. What's that going to be? I'm excited. I'm ready for whatever's going to go down.
The funny thing you said earlier, Jen, to me was that, like, it'll be a Shonda Rhimes ending if a black woman comes and defeats him at the end. I'm going to tell you what I really thought when the gunshots rang out, when I saw it happening kind of in the immediate aftermath. I was like, it better not be a person of color behind the gun, because then that is going to be their whole narrative. That's going to be the whole thing. It better be a straight white guy. It had better be, because if it's not, it's fucking over. And now it's just funny to me that metaphorically, this is what's happening now.
Well, I'm hoping she'll pick Pete Buttigieg as her VP.
I
and
would
then
love
it's
that
the gay
too.
Man and the black woman going after him.
I would love that more than anything. I don't think that's gonna fuck. I think it's gonna be the most milquetoast, middle of the road white male Democrat.
It will be.
Yeah, it will.
Of course,
it'll be a safe person.
It's
a safe white man.
You know what? I was just watching a lot of the news coverage since this, and basically, I would love for it to be Gavin Newsom, only because, look, I don't really know a lot about his politics, to be honest. He's just adorable, and I always like a pretty ticket.
Have you ever met him?
I think Gavin Newsom is so good looking, but they'll never put two Californians together, right?
No way.
Defeats the purpose. She's almost got to pick someone from one of these swing states: North Carolina, Wisconsin, Arizona. She's almost got to do that.
Right. Now I forgot his name. Kelly is his last name. Kelly from Arizona.
Yeah.
So he's an astronaut. Mark Kelly's a former astronaut, and he actually, when I worked for NASA, he and his twin brother were like the superstars, Scott and Mark Kelly. And he's like a former NASA astronaut. Yeah, he's been to space.
Oh my God, a black woman and an astronaut? Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, let's go. Shonda Rhimes but that's fucking serious. Like, you couldn't write that in the best writer's room.
That's what I said last night in this green. I was like, if I was writing this, here's how it would go. And I said this, and they were like, it'll never happen. He'll never step down. He'll never step. And I literally wanted to call every one of those guys this morning and be like,
I fucking told you.
I'm waiting for my apology. I like flowers and candies and chocolates. Feel free to send them here to this address. Because I was absolutely right while being funny. But it's just what made sense.
Yeah.
If I am a diehard leftist. I just am. It's just who I am. And if I was like, fuck this guy.
I know, dude.
And not fuck him. He did a lot of great things, but it was just like, why do we keep putting up old white men? Stop it. On either side. Stop it. I want someone who I feel like could lead this country somewhere new into the future. Right? I don't even have kids. Who am I doing this for? It's not like I have skin in this game. I'm just saying that, like, it's getting, we're going backwards. I think we can all clearly see that with this Prop 2025, but whatever the fuck that is, it reads like the script to Handmaid's Tale.
It is the Handmaid's Tale.
What is happening right now?
Right.
And we are defeating conservatives by a lot of numbers in Europe. That's happening right now in England, and we tend to follow. And when England went conservative and whatever, that's when we went with Trump. We tend to kind of follow their patterns. So I really look forward to pumping this up and getting things going and really getting into the politics. I mean, I didn't even know what to do before.
I'm gonna fucking phone bank, Jen. I've never done that. I bought fucking Kamala friendship bracelets today. I'm not kidding. That just happened a couple hours ago. I went from I'm leaving the country. We have to go do comedy shows in Toronto in November so that I can go. I'm not kidding. So I can go look at Toronto as a viable, livable option because I do not want to take part in this system anymore. I don't feel like I belong in it.
I was calling my friend that's a singer who lived in Puerto Vallarta and like, girl, how hard is it to get a residency at a club in Puerto Vallarta?
I know a comedian that has a residency. You could probably get one. In Puerto Vallarta. His name's Keenan. He's really funny, but he's got a residency at a gay bar in PV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the thing to do. And certainly, if this all starts heading in a certain direction, it's the viable plan.
You and me both. It was a viable plan 3 days ago, and now I feel like proud to be an American, and I want to like help, and I want to do everything I can.
I look forward to seeing that happen because I feel like under Donald Trump, somehow being a Democrat became unpatriotic. Like they took over patriotism.
They took
like
the flag.
The right-wing evangelical folks took patriotism, and I'm like, you're supporting a felon.
Right.
And what I hear in response to that is always, well, he was railroaded into those charges. Let me say, if he had been convicted of one or two things, I might be like, I mean, there might be a case for that. 34, really? That's a lot of railroads.
There's a comedian I know out of Houston. I'm not going to say his name, but he sells far right merchandise. And he is a far right comedian, but he started selling shirts that say "I'd rather be a felon than a jackass." And I was like, "Jackasses can vote. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking? What are we talking about?" And then I saw a bitch at the shooting when they were showing like live coverage who was wearing that shirt, and I'm like, you haven't thought about this for 4 seconds about what you're wearing, what it means. They just see that. They're just like, he's not wrong. I don't care about the sexual assault. I don't care about the felony. I don't care. Don't care.
And
that's what I wish I could say.
If I were a Republican, and my parents are Republicans, and they're pissed off, I feel like their party has been hijacked by a madman. The whole point of being a Republican, if you go back historically, which I feel like is still fact, is that the Republican Party is supposed to be for less government. Less government involvement in your life. And now they want into my body, they want into my marriage, they want into my service record. Like what's going on? What are we doing?
Because they're intertwining religion and politics, which is exactly the opposite of what our founding fathers wanted. And
well, we're all from Louisiana, where they've started putting the 10 Commandments up in classrooms.
Jen, I'm glad that they
do it in
did that.
Original Hebrew.
I'm glad that they put 10 Commandments in classrooms because it gives kids a place to hide behind when there's a shooter. It's great. That's really
it's a tablet,
smart.
The actual stone tablets.
Yeah, the stone tablets. It's a great hiding place. So stupid. The most ignorant shit I've ever heard.
They're so bulletproof. I think that while I do feel invigorated, I also do not want this to be, a Republican bashing half hour. I get it. There's some shit I'm Republican about. I will say that. It's not necessarily any of their social issues, but I do have a lot of fiscally Republican
me too.
ideologies that I could subscribe to. But I think what it is that I have never, and again, I would love for this to change, but I've never voted my pocketbook. I've never had enough money to vote for someone else to not have my money. And I feel like even if I had a lot of money, and there have been times in my life when I have had a lot of money, I tend to be real generous with it. Like it's, nobody gets everything they get on their own. Somebody helped them. Somebody made a phone call. Somebody sacrificed. Somebody, right? Even the people that are these self-made people, somebody helped you along the way. Someone. Right. And to not want to give any of that back to people that maybe don't have those opportunities is so foreign and insane to me that the entire ideology of that doesn't make sense to me, which is why I'm a Democrat. I feel I
have problems with both parties. I have problems with issues.
Oh my God, I do too. Like I said, they're all here to fuck us. Yes. Every one of them is out for their own interests ultimately. But if you can, along the way, help some other fucking people, that would be nice. And I don't feel like that is on the agenda of a lot of them.
That's true. But as gay people, you and I, like there's also the social issues are always, for me, if you're a gay person with a conscience, they're always going to outweigh a lot of the fiscal stuff for me in particular. Yeah. Because I'm just like, I understand. I'm part of a marginalized group, no matter how supported I am, the family of origin I grew up in. I get it, motherfucker. So I'm always going to side with the social issues that benefit underrepresented and marginalized people, no matter what they are. That's just where I vote. If I'm a single issue voter and it comes down to quote unquote gay rights or quote unquote gay marriage, you got my vote. That's what and a lot of people are single issue. That's how people vote now. Abortion. What do you feel? That's my vote.
That shouldn't be part of politics. You should be able to be whoever you want to be, call yourself whatever you want to be. Politics should not be involved with this. And that's what drives me so crazy, that we make this personal. We make it so subjective. Like, you can't identify as this. You can't be gay. You're choosing it. You're choosing.
Well, once it became an issue, I agree with you, obviously. Once it became an issue, now it's a single issue vote. Now that's what I'm voting on. I wish I didn't have to. I wish this was fucking utopia. It isn't. Somebody dragged gay marriage into it, and now this is where we are. The fact that my marriage might be nullified. The fact that future people will not be able to marry, probably in Louisiana first. Oh, truly. Yeah. Oh, 100%. We're first. You're going to ratify gay marriage or take it out of the equation.
I mean, Mississippi might be first. But I think
thank God for Mississippi.
Top three. I think we're definitely top three.
They can be first in something.
They got to be first at something besides
misspellings,
illiteracy
probably.
and teen pregnancy. I hope you are listening. If you are in Mississippi, we are having a good time. Bitchin' over biscuits is our name. Check out all of our episodes. We tackle a different genre of podcast every week. We've done episodes on travel, technology, true crime, parenting. They've been so much fun. Today we have been talking government with our good friend, comedian Ryan Rogers. Ryan is right here. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. We have enjoyed our time with you. Ryan, tell everybody where they can find you on the World Wide Webs.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure being here. You can find me at Ryan A. Rogers on Instagram, Ryan Rogers Comedy on TikTok, or RyanRogersComedy.com. All of the above.
And I will say this, Ryan's got some funny videos. He finds things while he's traveling. He does a lot of great video content, a lot of very funny things. I have enjoyed following you, my friend, and I'm
Jen, if you're trying to butter my biscuit, it's working. Thank you. Very sweet.
Well, I'm genuinely inspired and encouraged by you, and I am honored to have had you on the show and to have had you on my live show as well, and we look forward to bringing you back for that. Mike, as always, we have enjoyed our time with you.
We love Mike.
That's Ryan Rogers. I'm Jen Kober. We are out.
Thanks.